type exclamation point live in the Discord, in the city chat?
Yep.
Appreciate it, yeah. Only because I got this with your names on there and I don't want to go to a different chat and mess it up. That ready, and we'll hit that play button for the media in the background. Let me make sure that this is, yeah, that's right. All right, wait for the folks to start rolling. I could probably I should have had this screen up. I don't know why I didn't think about that. What up, Gooby Saucy? Finals. SP in the building. What up, SP? What's goody? Yeah, so we're talking about some changes for 2K24. The dev, the Czar, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Czar, but he runs like SimNation. And he handles like a lot of the AI type of work and functionality. How like when the AI picks up. I remember he was discussing something along the lines of, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was an AI, if he was guarding the corner man and somebody drives into the paint, he would they still got an echo, yeah. Somebody's giving off an echo. But if somebody drive into, it's chosen. Looks like it's you, chosen.
I'm gonna turn it down.
Yeah, it's you giving an echo. So, hey, what up, Drew? What's good, man? Action Jack, Billy T, James Williams, Antario. What's goody, man? Are they gonna be smarter now? All right, so yeah, you know, if there's a center who's guarding the corner, AI, we're talking about AI, there was instances where that AI will leave the corner wide open and go dive and guard the dude in the paint. So the devs were making changes on that, but there's issues with that because he's leaving this guy wide open in the paint. I mean, wide open in the corner for easy 3, and he's going to guard a 2. So a lot of folks had issues with that, and they had to make some adjustments on that. But the way this whole thing started was because when you make an adjustment like that, it affects other areas of the game, having to do with the coding. Javon, what's good, man? Are they gonna be smarter now? What up, Shan? What's goody, man? All AIs are dumb. They are, like, they do feel dumber than ever. I ain't even gonna front. But yeah, we out here. We out here. So we got the All City team. I should have started with this. We have the All City team in the building. All City Big Red, All City Chosen, All City OG, All City Toonie, All City Wheezy, All City Tron. We are out here, man. Collaborative effort to reach out to y'all. Hey, say what up, man. You already know what it is. Go ahead. What's goody? What's goody?
Hey, what's good, everybody?
Hey, let's get it. Antario. Yes, sir. Red in the building. Toonie in the building. All information here. Fresh off work. That's what's up, Antario. Salute, Meth. Agent Q in the building. What's good? So, I don't know if you guys seen the video that I posted earlier today. And one of the, like I mentioned earlier, one of the devs had a live stream. And he's been doing this for a while now, trying to bridge the gap between the community and the development team. He felt that it would be good to have a dev within the community. And I know it's ironic because a lot of you guys probably never heard that there's a dev in the community. Or probably a lot of you guys don't even know who the Czar is. But he's been doing this for a long time. And he does share quite a bit of information in these live streams, which is what he did just the other day. Salute to All City Big Heck, by the way, because All City Big Heck is the one who actually sent me this audio, recorded and sent it to me. First, I would like, before we get into all the details of these changes, I want to pose a question to y'all, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the community between calm, casual, who should have an opinion. I want to first pose the question, how old, and you guys sound off in the chat, what's good, what's good? Let me see, I got to get a count. Let me get a count real quick. Hopefully I can get a count real quick. 80? Here, we got to get more. Let me double check it. I gotta get more. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm just trying to pull it up. Yeah, we're at 80 right now. Be sure to drop those likes on the stream if you got a second, yeah. Everybody that's watching. Spinny, what's good? So the question that I have for y'all is, how old do you think 2K players are right now? Y'all sound off in the chat. If you had to guess who's 2K's target demographic, what would that be? Considering we got NBA 2K23 and it's so different from what we experienced in previous versions of 2K. So y'all sound off, the homies that are here, All City Clan, All City Crew. Let me know what y'all think, man. How old?
It's crazy.
How old do y'all think?
Right now, I think it's I want to say anywhere between the 25, 35 range. Most of the players that
I can't have you. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, sorry, Toonie. You had to get muted. You're breaking up. Let me pull this back.
I think it
All right.
varies within,
Huh?
like, I think it varies within age range. I think there's a lot of like 9 to 16-year-olds, and then there's like a gap between, like, say 26 to 30 plus, maybe mid 40s. You know what I mean? That's what I think personally.
I think it's a rough range to really, go off of, because I've played with kids that are, that 10 to 18 range, but then also I've played with people that are 25 to 45. It's a really wide range of players.
I got some numbers in the chat. We got Money Moore saying 25. Let me make sure I get everybody. What up, Will? What's good, man? Fuego, Wale. Maybe 13 to 25. Interesting. Somebody just said 25. Like there's only 25-year-olds in that place. Okay, that was Money More money. Only 25-year-olds. 2K is only. It doesn't say for everyone. It says you got to be 25. Marlo Henderson 10 to 17. It's interesting what y'all thinking. Black Sean 16 to 35, Spinny 12 to 18, Samuel Black 16 to 26. I'm gonna change a lot of you guys' viewpoints during this live stream, so y'all stay tuned, man. 16 to 30, Sean. James Williams 8 to 17. You didn't say that, bro. Oh, we get 2K24 news soon. Yeah, definitely. We good. Yeah, we ain't getting much yet, but second we get some news, I'll put it up. Javon Taylor, 25 to 40 is the target demographic, is what they're saying for 2K players. Billy T, 15 to 45. There you go. Now you guys are starting to get the picture. 23 to 42, Kenneth Barnes. What up, Cor? What's up, Roberts? I'm 43, and I do also Samuel After Dark. Friendly View said 40s. Agent Q says 38. Jeff Moyes 25 to 45. What up, Kelly? Was good. 21 to 33. The real KG3 16 to 45. There you go. What's good, bro? 13 to 45. Rated E for everyone getting scammed. I'm 32, so around 12 through 40. Okay, yeah, those are good. The reason why I brought this up, and I'm going to break this down so we could kind of segue into some dialogue about what's going on. The reason why I brought this up is because of this conversation that's being had within the community. You saw how many folks just put like really young numbers in there, young ages. The community is like divided right now, casual. And everybody wants the changes that they feel should happen to be addressed. So during this conversation with the 2K developer, the question came up of how old are players in 2K? And that was posed, he actually said Batchplug's name. Salute to the homie Batchplug, by the way. When he referenced how old players are on 2K right now, he said 2K wouldn't be able to pull the numbers that they pull without being multi-generational. And I wanted to do this one first because it helps us gain some perspective on some of these folks are just naive or ignorant. And I don't mean ignorant in a bad way. I mean to say they just don't know. I mean to call you an idiot. I'm not trying to say you're an idiot. You know what I mean to say? Not, yeah, don't get sensitive on me. I mean to say you just don't know that 2K can't pull these numbers, these type of numbers, unless they're multi-generational. So for the comp players who think that 2K is about their small group of people, for the casual players who think that 2K is only about their people, no, they're multi-generational, which means that their demographic is going to target, very similar to what some of the other folks have mentioned, is going to be from young not as young as you think would be their target demographic, but you got to keep in mind that their goals are microtransactions. That's their goals. Create microtransactions. We know this because microtransactions far outweigh how much 2K makes in regards to unit sales. So microtransactions have already surpassed unit sales. Considering that a 2K is multi-generational, that means there's casuals and comps. So the dad who works 40 hours a week is a casual, but his son is home after school sweating on 2K. So hopefully that grounds this perspective of what changes, or why, I should say, why should the changes be made for certain people? Like a comp player wants these changes, or should we address them because they'll make the game better? A casual says, well, I bought the game. My voice should be heard. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk a little bit about that. I put out the information.
Both should be.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think they both should be, and it's kind of crazy because 2K is kind of getting pulled both ways. Because they're trying to make sure everybody's happy, but you can't.
I think there has to be, obviously there is your comp and your casual, but I think there has to be a happy medium divide in between your comp and non-comp players. Because I mean, obviously some people work that, you know, that 9 to 5 or whatever hour, and they just come on just trying to play the game and relax. But then you get some of those lobbies where you're playing, you know, especially in rec or pro-am, you're playing 5 men that play with each other religiously. So it's like your casual player is not gonna be able to compete with people like that.
There you go. And that's why 2K can't make. Hey, hold on a second. Wheezy, that was All City Wheezy. By the way, I got the names on the right side so you can see who's talking. Wheezy, do you got a social media platform?
Yes, sir. I stream on Twitch. It's,
awesome.
The Wheezy TV, and Wheezy, there's 2 Y's.
Nice.
I can put it in the chat for a link in the chat for people if they want to.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope, man. Chosen also has a Chosen. You have a TikTok, right? Chosen was talking just a second. What's your TikTok?
TikTok is the same. All City Chosen one.
Awesome, man. Yeah, so you guys go drop them a follow. If you got a second, go drop them a follow. That'll be super dope. You could put it in the live stream chat. If you got a link, go ahead, put it in the live stream chat if it lets you. I'm not sure if I got some restrictions on there. There you go. I see Wheezy's in there. So yeah, go drop a follow to the homies. You know, this is all about growing, increasing the hype for 2K24, and we got a good team. You got a really good team of people. You're not gonna find solid folks like this that can collaborate very easily, which is like minds, good people trying to do good things, and that's what we're doing out here. So if you can take a second, go drop a follow, drop a like, whatever you need to do. But these are the homies that are participating in today's live stream, and I'm glad we was able to talk about this comp casual thing and who needs to be heard. Y'all sound off in the chat. How about pulling up surveys on the game, not Twitter? They do not ask to get feedback to promote global changes. They do ask. This is the thing, y'all. And I remind you guys every single season update course I report that at the bottom there's a survey. At the bottom of every single update to the seasons, whenever there's a new season, so already there's been 8 surveys sent out this annual cycle. You guys got to keep that in mind. Maybe 7, because I don't think they sent it out for the first one. Or maybe they did prior to its release. But there's a survey at the very end, at the bottom, that inquires how'd you feel about the season. So you guys may need to take some time and you know, it's going to take a couple minutes to get that survey done, but take some time and fill out that survey so we can have like a reference. It's like leaving a paper trail. Yeah, we got to leave a paper trail to say that we asked for this to be fixed. And that's going to take years, but you got to start the process now. And Hypnot said, in your opinion, what do you reckon needs to change in order to make a good game? And I referenced this in my video. Homies, if I left it up to y'all, and I'm talking to the All City crew, if I left it up to y'all, what do y'all feel needs to be changed? Hold on. Let me rephrase this question. Because that's too broad. We'll be here forever.
I was gonna say, what do we say?
Yeah. So let me rephrase this question. Not necessarily what needs to be changed. And I mean to say, from your perspective, without being selfish, thinking of the entire 2K community, how can we address or what can you say would be changed that would be satisfactory to the good majority of the community? That's the best way to address it.
I would say the consistency of the game on your shots.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Consistency, period.
Right.
What up, Deshaun?
Because I know it's a lot of times we try to trigger our dribble moves and you don't get anything until 5 seconds later.
Tell him.
Consistent servers.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree off of what Red said is the servers, because like there's an event going on.
We went through it this weekend.
Pro-Am, it's not it, because everything's just different from the day before or the week before. Then you load up the next day and it's completely different. Your jump shot feels different. Your defense contests feel different. Everything just feels very different. And they want us.
It makes my hair stand up.
They want us to get used to these 18 different shot timings, but we can't do that when they change every day because of the servers.
Speak on it. Speak on it. Y'all sound off in the chat.
Yeah, City. It's all City cheat. So I'll say that the interior defense, and also I say just defense in general, in my opinion.
You know, cheat. It's facts. Because, you know, during this live stream from the 2K dev, Dazar, he touched on, or somebody inquired, basically exactly what she said. Defense, broad perspective, or broad spectrum, just said defense. You know, there's certain areas in defense, whatever, like Weezy said, interior defense. But generally, defense has always been a problem that 2K hasn't been able to solve. But when the dev was posed that question, his response was, we've been had a dedicated team, not only dedicated, designated team for defense. The 2K has teams. There's teams of people who work on defense, teams of people who work on these certain aspects of offense, teams of people who work on AI. So from the gamer's perspective, if there's a team, I pay $70. Well, matter of fact, I pay $100, I think, for my 2K. So, and I pay more for microtransactions and whatnot. But what I'm getting at, my general response to that is, if there's a team of folks, and tell me if you guys feel the same, there's a team of folks who've been consistently working on certain aspects of the game, because initially I know a lot of people feel like there's one group of devs that work on everything for the game. Negative, Kochi. It's a team of people work this aspect of the game, a team of people work that aspect of the game. And if there is a team of people who have been working on this game, like for instance, defense, how come we haven't seen those type of like improvements that exceed our expectations?
I think my biggest problem would be if they have all these separate teams, they should, whoever is like the top dog of that division, if you want to say, they should come out and have more like live streams or something, so whenever we say to them, doesn't get lost in transaction whenever they're tossing it up the chain of command or whatever they go by. I think it would be better for whoever's in charge of defense to host his own little stream, hear out the community, so he's the one hearing it directly, so he can see what the actual problem is. I feel like whenever it goes through whoever, Joe Smo, whoever is getting, whatever we're basically saying, is getting, you know, manipulated a little bit.
Yeah. And for that matter, the minor adjustments to 2K23 is fairly decent defense. And I'm not speaking the overall aspect of it, because interior defense is horrendous. Probably the worst, one of the worst. Yeah. So, but defense, like when you're playing up top, I'm not supposed to be playing defense up top with the player I have, but I'm able to be up top. So they definitely improved that perimeter defense, but that interior defense has been suffering for years. And there's certain aspects of up top defense that are, you know, that frustrate you as well. But in comparison, when we compare it to previous years, that's when we said we can agree that it's better up top. Pause. It's just that we want the whole thing to work different, do we not?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like, hold on. Do you know? Yeah, facts. Do you know how disappointed I would be if I'm a creator? Like, I've always been a creator since a kid. So if it was graffiti, graffiti led to photography, photography led to graphic design. Always been a creator, artist. And that comes in from my, I guess, my genealogy, because I got a background in artistry. But I just mean to say, I'm meticulous, and I couldn't imagine consistently releasing a product that's, and I'm not trying to act like I'm a dev. I'm speaking from just a player's perspective, as naive and ignorant to coding as possible. I couldn't imagine from being a creator that I would, this is my creation, 2K is my creation. I wouldn't imagine consistently disregarding certain aspects of defense, because interior defense has been suffering for years.
I see a lot of people in the chat saying they need to be more transparent, which is true.
Yeah.
When they do,
because I was gonna say they definitely know the problems that's within the game. But like you said about the coding, and if anybody didn't watch your video earlier, I suggest they do so you get a better understanding of the coding. Because any kind of thing that they can do, it will mess up the whole game. So they know these problems, but they can't probably do anything about it because it's going to change the whole gameplay. But you
say it again. Yes.
Yeah. So you came up with a great idea as well in the video, because I agree with this completely. You have so much people in the company. You have so much money. Why not start from ground zero and just remake this whole thing? You fail, but guess what? Companies fail. You've already made so many bad games in a row. You can make a great one by literally starting at ground zero and just go from there. I don't understand why they don't.
Yes. What up, Dietrich? What's good? What's good? Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Big facts, Tron. Big facts.
The reason they don't, because it makes too much sense.
He said you sound, Chosen's good. His levels are good. It might, You sure it's Chosen? Or maybe that was Tron.
Yeah, Chosen sound low to me too.
Oh, he sound low? Well, he's good on my end. Maybe I got him raised up. Hold on. That's probably why. Let me see. No, he's not raised up. But yeah, man, that, that's what I was getting at in the video, Tron. I was getting at that, I understand. Like I explained in the video, you guys go check it out. I just dropped it today. When you get a chance, I explained that it seemed like they built a solid foundation, because I know there's not a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys are young bucks. A lot of you guys haven't had the opportunity to didn't get the opportunity to get the feeling of what it was like back then, going from everybody was consumed with NBA Live. When you talked about a basketball game, it was live. And even further back, it was double dribble. But when you talked about a basketball game, it was NBA Live. And I remember all too clearly seeing, that feeling as a consumer, as a player, as a video gamer. Wow, this has far exceeded my expectation. I mean, my expectation from going for live, you would think that they would only take the next, whatever company will come up, would only take a baby step in a better direction. 2K went like light years in a better direction, that I was completely taken aback the first time putting on that Dreamcast and putting on 2K. We look back on it now, it looks goofy as hell. But back then, what I'm saying is that feeling as a gamer. When's the last time you as a 2K player put on 2K and had that feeling? You might have the aesthetic. You might have initially had that feeling like, wow, this looks amazing. But as soon as you got into gameplay, that's where everything collapses.
Absolutely. Can I go off of that? If you don't mind?
Yeah, for sure. Of course. You didn't even ask. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the reason was because 2K was nobody at the time. They were hungry to become the best.
Yep.
Now that 2K is the best, they're just worried about making a copy and paste game and just worried about microtransactions, I feel like.
Yeah, that's a different way. He said microtransactions in Spanish. It's a little backwards. So, yeah, that's what that was.
Micro.
But no, it's facts, man. I kind of felt the same way that 2K... We all feel this way. There's the obvious statement that a lot of players feel like, well, they don't have no competition. There's the general consensus from a lot of people that because they don't have no competition, there's nobody to keep them on their toes. There's no white rabbit for them to chase. They are the white rabbit that folks are trying to chase. So what I say when you're a AAA company is that you run the risk, and it's hard to say it like that because 2K is, in my opinion, 2K is so strong that there's no other video game that can come up under them that's even closely related to basketball without them knowing about it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how big they are.
Let
They're
alone
not.
possibly trying to own them.
Hmm?
Let alone possibly trying to own them.
Yeah, they'll buy them out. Facts. They'll buy them. They'll let them develop the game and then buy them out.
Right.
Yeah, because it's hella risky. If you guys don't know, if you guys that are watching right now, if you guys don't know this, as an investor, you know, these video game developers or development small companies or whatnot need investors, and it costs a lot of money. But what you guys may not know that it's a high risk investment to invest in sports gaming in particular. High risk for investors. When you look at the numbers for 2K, you say, well, they're hella successful. Why wouldn't somebody make another basketball game? And that's what leaves me scratching my head as well. Why hasn't come somebody else, another company, say 2K has already proven that basketball gaming is not only successful, it could take you to the top of the gaming industry. So in every other company you see out there, there's always a competitor. Always somebody else, because we live in a country of innovative thinkers. So there's always going to be a competitor out there. They see something work, somebody else is going to come up and try to make something better. Why hasn't that happened in basketball gaming?
I can go off that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2K.
So it's obviously they're probably that part too, being afraid of 2K. But then when it comes to making it realistic and using real people's names,
Mm-hmm.
they gotta get approval.
Yep.
You go in there and start using people's names.
Can't do that.
You're getting sued, and then you're losing all your money.
Yeah.
So like all the sports games, like you see, you got like MLB
Licensing.
NBA,
Yep.
all these games, they got all these licensed to that league. Because whenever someone
Yep.
signs up and gets drafted, usually they're part of that contract is going to be, hey, your name's going to be used in this
Yep.
video game.
And you get royalties.
Who doesn't want their name to be used?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, this is facts.
Can't get around it.
Yeah,
Well,
and
one of the things, though,
Hmm?
sorry.
No, you good,
one
bro.
Of the things, though, is I remember growing up when other companies tried to compete with, you know, the baseball games, and they would just come out with some cheesy names, add some fake players, and you'd get up involved in that. That's all you got to do, because what people's looking for is to jump on with their buddies, go online, and play a smooth basketball game like a My Career game in 2K. That's what we're looking for. We don't want.
That's what we're
easy
looking
stuff.
for.
We just want things to work.
You said it, and hopefully,
And
let me
all
give
you gotta do.
let me give some clarity to what OG was saying. When he want what I hopefully this is what I think this is what you're saying. You want the offline experience to be the same as the online experience.
Correct.
Right. So that's what I thought. Yeah, and I think a lot of us, whenever we play offline, we're like, whoa, I didn't even know I could dribble like this. Everything is hitting. When you hit them sticks, they respond. You clicking. But you're against the AI. You're like, I want to do that against a real person. I don't want to do that against the AI because the AI is cheating. He knows where I'm going to go. No matter what dribble move I put or pull out. You might get a step ahead and blow past them, but it doesn't feel, it's not fulfilling. It's not a fulfilling feeling. Say that fast 3 times.
Right,
Do
because I
y'all
mean,
remember back in the day before, I think it was EA, when they had a college football game, they just used numbers instead of the names?
yep.
All right, so let's get into that. Is there potential for a development company to come out with a basketball game without licensing? Before you answer, let me just add this to this. I've had this idea for quite a while, and I spoke about it on the previous live stream. If we got 2K, we're talking about this rec center, the same exact thing. I go into 2K, I don't play My Career at all. I don't care what team. I just don't do My Career, and I haven't done it in the longest time. I might have to do it to start out my first build, but that's like the last time for the annual cycle that you'll see me get on My Career. So I'm always in the rec. So my general experience is what you guys are seeing right in front of you, which doesn't need any NBA licensing. What happens if a development company creates this exact thing that we're seeing right in front of us with the tweaks that 2K needs without the licensing?
So you're talking like a live service game with just online characters only, with no licensing needed to have replicas of other individuals?
Let me ask you some. Yeah, let me ask you some to elaborate on that. How many role-playing games do we play? No licensing needed.
A lot.
No, yeah. How many games are out there that are super successful that don't need licensing?
A lot.
Yeah. They don't need to get
way more successful than 2K, to be frank.
Yeah.
I would say the
think about all the apps on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
They have so many games, no
Hmm.
licenses.
Well, with the concept with that of just doing like a rec park thing, you go online because people gonna like to play the little park, you know, and all that. Just a rec park deal, no licenses needed whatsoever. You could make that a free game, and all you would have to do is the microtransactions.
And they pay for cosmetics,
people
right?
Do it.
Yeah, they pay for
correct.
cosmetics.
I mean, there's already a lot of games like that. Like
Yeah, only cosmetics.
Like Fortnite.
Yeah. There you go.
They make all their money off of
There you go.
transaction. There's games on the computer like Valorant. It's strictly funded off of people making transactions. But then the biggest problem would be as soon as someone made a basketball game that looks any bit realistic, it may not work, but 2K's lawyers are going to try to dig
there
up
you go.
anything they can dig up to make it, if anything comes close to like being the same as 2K, they're going to try to lawsuit.
There you go. That's why. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, because when it comes to going to court, and if you don't have a lot of money,
they'll drag it.
Court, they're going to drag it on and on.
And there goes your investment.
Yeah, because 2K is basically printing money as we. They probably just made $100,000 in the last 5 minutes.
Easy. So you know, I'm like, that's why I posed that question, y'all. And I'll get to the comments in just a second, y'all. I'm sorry, I know you guys are leaving a lot of comments. I'm watching them as they scroll up. Salute to you, Bam, James. I appreciate your efforts. Slits, what's good? But it's facts. I kind of feel, observing over the years and knowing business in general, there's always a competitor. That's the country we live in. We're capitalistic mentalities, man. If there's something work, somebody else is going to try to do it too. Why hasn't there been anybody else to come up? I'm gonna elaborate just a slight bit on this. Why hasn't there been anybody else to come up in the background to just release a basketball game that's fun? Hold on, before you say anything. It makes me feel like 2K is bullying folks on the back end. And like Wheezy mentioned, you don't want to mess with their lawyers. Their lawyers would know that they're going to lose the lawsuit, but they're going to get the W because they drained you of all your funds in that lawsuit.
I want to answer Tooney's question. Since he brought up something about Call of Duty, right? With their gun license, like the guns they have in the games and stuff.
That's true.
Tooney, they changed the names so change little things on it so it doesn't match. That's why they can do what they do. Some of them they might have some kind of deal, but majority of them there's no deal because it's not exactly the same.
And it's definitely not the same too because these companies would want Call of Duty to promote their guns. So you know, if you're a Smith & Wesson or whatnot, you're gonna want the company like Call of Duty to have that in there. There's a growing generation, you know, there's only to promote sales. So yeah.
Especially if there's like a bundle out in the store or something, that's where they make money, especially for games like another free game, Warzone, is completely free.
There you go.
For all these cool skins and cool
Thank
things
you, but
that make you look cooler and stick out.
You know, that's the one that I reference too, Wheezy. I say the same thing. Call of Duty, because Call of Duty not only hooked me, that joint put me in a chokehold. I damn near fell asleep. And that's why I don't get on right now, because I know it's going to hook me. You know what I'm saying? Stick drift on every single controller. So what I'm getting at is that I didn't mind spending money at all. It was like, hell yeah, I want that package. $20 here, another $20 here. I didn't mind at all to get the packages, the cosmetics that Call of Duty was offering. So
it's gonna make us pay for the monthly every season's what's it
that's
called?
what I call. I called that from the beginning. Go check out my video from when season started, way back when. That was one of the first videos I made, saying they just prepping us to pay for seasons, and that was during the Fortnite scene. That I said, you know, Fortnite was successful. Of course, they're gonna follow suit. They're gonna make you pay for seasons, and I was just coming off Call of Duty as well, so I understood what it meant. And I said, well, that's a desensitizing process to get you prepared to pay for each individual season.
What is it? $10 for each battle pass on COD?
There you go. $10, $20. Mm-hmm.
Depends on which one you get.
Yeah.
There's two. There's a $10 and there's a $20 one that'll give you an advantage by skipping like parts of the battle pass.
Yeah, Friendly View said this is big business, and 2K knows how to prevent competition, and that's what I'm trying to get at. How? And I know it's lawyers and stuff like that, but when you don't have licensing, all right, let's say me. You know, my mentality is don't disrespect me, I slap you. So I'm thinking if I have, you know, I say I blew and I have all this money to start my own basketball game because I love 2K and I don't like what they're doing right now with microtransactions or some of the gameplay, not improving gameplay as they should. And I say, you know what, I'm going to dump all my money and I don't need no licensing. I don't need no approval. But then 2K's lawyers hit me up. Like, yo, it's basketball. You can't make it. Where does that hold up in court? How does that be a thing that we cannot pursue our capitalistic ways only for basketball gaming? Like, what the hell is going on? What is going on the back end? It's like Debo from Friday. You don't know who you're going to see. He's coming on the freaking bike. Tuck your chains in because 2K is coming down the block to hide your money.
Honestly, whose pockets are deeper?
Yeah, right. Well, go on, Mars.
Crazy, man. I'm just thinking they could make a game where you play outside. 2K is not using any real cities, really, as far as the background.
Dietrich said, I remember that video, yeah. But it's facts, though.
Get rid of this walk into the clothing store.
Oh, what up, sir? Franchise. I think people don't want to deal with the hassle of dealing with 2K backlash. I think that's what it is. But how come other areas are able to deal with the backlash? It is definitely the licensing. And I was speaking about the risk for the investors and the time it takes to develop a game is a tremendous amount of time, and you got to keep the board happy. The board of investors, you got to keep them happy along the way to assure them that they're going to get a return on their investment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have another company, not only another company, the biggest company in the business you're trying to pursue, in the area of business you're trying to pursue, the biggest company coming at your head saying, negative, coach, you don't want these type of problems. What are you doing? I feel like that's what 2K is doing. 2K is in the back end, eliminating anything before it even comes up. And like somebody had mentioned, and people are talking about NBA Street, but somebody had mentioned, what was the other game? NBA Playground that 2K just took over.
Oh, yeah, Playground.
Yeah, they just took over that joint and said, nah, it's ours now.
Yeah, because I think the problem with other people trying to make games, the only way they can really get around it is they make it like cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong; those games are fun for a while, but I need.
You can't take it serious.
Yeah, it's not like I can't get competitive in something.
Right.
Doing a triple backflip and dunking it.
Yeah, it's like the cages.
Yeah.
It's like the cages.
Oh, I can't stand the cages.
And I think I think another thing about companies trying to rival 2K, the only companies that are able to do it aren't in the sporting game realm. You got like Activision, straight Call of Duty. Amazon's making games, but they're not doing sports games. Those are like the only companies that could probably compete with them in the courtroom. Their pockets are deep and probably deeper.
Slish said, it's not lawyers, it's the 2K community. They are so ingrained in 2K that they won't give new games a chance. Anyone that was playing NBA Live was seen as a leper and ridiculed. Oh, that's funny. But, I think a successful game would be a successful game. And if they came out, if another game was able to get on the scene, if they're able to just get on the scene that's very similar to 2K, we would give them a shot. We would.
They can't get to that stage.
They are. They don't get to the stage.
2K finds out about it. They're doing whatever they can to shut it down.
Let's touch base on EA.
Quick.
Bob John said EA can, but their game was trash. Now EA can't. EA got shut down by the NBA because EA wanted to drop a free-to-play game. The NBA, this is, and I've mentioned this quite a few times, but we'll just mention it for the sake because it's in this this whole topic. The NBA, when at EA said you can't release a free-to-play game, at least this was reported by Brian Mazik from Force.com, said you cannot drop a free-to-play game because it's going to affect the sales for 2K. This is to show you what's going on in the back end, y'all. And you got a bully that said, not even EA can mess around with us. Let me go send the NBA after them. Don't play around with our sales. We got projections that we're supposed to meet, that we done told all our shareholders we're gonna meet these projections. You guys are gonna receive crazy returns on your investments. The business side of things, yeah, I don't mean to make it boring, but when you get the business side of things, then we could continue the conversation of development and why there's not a pressing need to increase or enhance the gameplay for 2K. That's how this what we're talking about all comes together. I saw a video where 99
it's a fight that you're not going to win.
But what I know about our history is that a lot of things collapse. That's what I know about our history. It ends up, like, I'll give you, for instance, HBO and Cinemax. Some people may feel different, but me growing up, HBO was always bigger than Cinemax. There was not even no comparison. At least that's how it seemed. But if you go try and download the app right now, it's called Max. No HBO Max. It's called the Max. Right now. Me and my wife were talking about that. We're like, really? HBO let them get the name? I'm sure as in the back end it means nothing. It's just the name. They're gonna make the same amount of money. But I would have thought HBO would have took the name. Just like 2K football. 2K football was it and got shut down. No challenge on EA for basketball or anybody else. A challenge against EA for football. The AI Matrix said Disney taking over. People should stop trying to push narratives like the 2K dead narrative. 2K dropped numbers to conflict that just because most of these content creators aren't pulling old numbers. Say it again, Life of Toyn or Twan or Toyn.
Speaking the truth.
Yeah, say it again. Say it again. It is facts. Listen, when I see the influx of viewers as a creator, we'll speak to this from the creator perspective. I see an influx of viewers every time 2K releases. Even prior to then, we get that little influx and we get to connect with a lot more folks. And there's all facts for every creator when the new game drops. But it goes without saying that within 3 months, and the time keeps getting pushed sooner and sooner. Like before we used to have 6 months. Now it's like this last year was like 3 months before views, even probably sooner, before views start dropping. And if you're a veteran creator, you remember your views from last year, and you're like, whoa, this doesn't even match. So like you said, they start the 2K dead narrative. And 2K is not dead because they're breaking sales records. So we know they're not dead.
Every time somebody says 2K is dead, a whole bunch of people fly to it just to see. And that's more money for them.
Yeah, it doesn't. The fact is that there's just a ton of players on 2K. It's not dying. They're actually getting more players. It's just like the players that they're getting don't stay on the game for 16 hours. These are players that want to play a couple hours. And they just increase that number, I don't know how much, 100-fold or even more. They just increase the number of players that just play a couple hours.
Like I have just under 1,000 hours played in 2K23.
Man, I used to go 10,000 games on 2K, and now it's like, imagine? Hell nah.
840.
Yeah. So that's where we're coming from. Where 2K used to have this sentimental value, this value to it that nothing else could compete with. And now it's come to a point where 2K is competing with itself, and it's losing. Its current self is losing to its past self. So what does that mean for its future self? Hopefully that made sense, and it fly over a lot of you guys' head. I know you guys probably what's today? I know you guys, it's Wednesday. I know you guys are probably getting prepared for your tequila shots after 5 o'clock. So you guys are not trying to hear. Yeah, you're not trying to hear all this extra stuff. Like, stop it with the numbers, City. Get to the real, like, nitty gritty. But I think it's important for
what James Williams said. He
What's
said
that?
NBA Live wasn't a bad game.
It wasn't. I mean, we didn't know. Well, yeah. I didn't like I think that my perspective changed in regards to NBA Live when I saw 2K. I never went back. It was like, I got that Dreamcast. I remember it was like yesterday. I got it, plugged it in. When I put on that NBA 2K, never, ever went back to my live again. Yeah, bro. So I think we just didn't know any better. We didn't know. We were playing Mike Tyson Punch Out. Then we got Fight Night. We didn't know. And when you see better, just like we probably wouldn't know if we saw what could be better than 2K, because I remember clearly that I was thinking when playing NBA Live that nothing could be better. And then we got 2K. It's the content creators every day.
Spend hours on.
Seen videos of bells that will break the game, so they broke it. Deshaun said, considering how many times we
when we wake up to them, then when we got ready to go to sleep.
So Deshaun McLean said, considering how many times we've talked about all the things 2K is doing wrong and how they make a great game worse over time, do you still have any real hope in 2K24? But the thing is that what I don't deny, and I think a lot of us are in denial, there has been tremendous changes. 2K23 is almost night and day from 2K22. Like, the complete functionality of it in regards to gameplay when you're on the floor is very different from 2K22. So it was a drastic change. It may not have been the right direction, or maybe it may not have taken such a big step that we wanted. I feel like it was a drastic change because we're moving slower. Everything seems more methodical. Things don't feel as fluid as it was, not nearly as arcadey as it was before. But with that comes a lot of other flaws that we experience on 2K23. Same happened with the PES franchise and FIFA. Yeah, I heard about the same thing happening in FIFA. Well, let's get on over because time just flies. I know when we're talking 2K like this, time just flies, but we want to keep this thing streamlined. I got another topic for us to get into, and I love how we was able to segue into multiple different topics off for you guys leaving the comments in the chat. So continue to leave the comments in the chat. I'm going to pick and pull. Chosen, thanks for reading those comments off the chat.
No problem.
The next one is, let's talk about this. Yeah, drop a sub. Why is that the first sub that came in? Hey, drop a sub on the chat. Show some love. Hey, we need to hit 100,000 subscribers this year, and I'm going to make sure we put in that work to get that. I want my plaque right behind me. This year, I want my plaque right behind me this year. I ain't playing with y'all. If you don't want me coming to your doorstep, drop a sub now. It's not that scary. I'm really 4'11" in real life. Not that scary. And I got one leg shorter than the other, so I walk in circles oftentimes, and somebody just has to push me so I can go forward. So I'm not that scary real life, but you don't want to see me angry, even 4'11".
Back up, Perry. Back up.
Hey, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. Yeah, appreciate y'all. The next, I've been running that same bit for like years. People that probably been here were like, "Yo, I done heard that bit, City. Stop it." but the next one is
2K, you're consistent.
Yeah, you got it. What works. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So The next one I have is, how do you feel about a 2K dev? Let's talk about this because this one's probably going to get deep and it's probably going to trigger a lot of you folks. How many folks we got in the stream? Let me see.
159.
Nice. All right, cool. Let me get back. Come on. All right. How do you feel? This is going to trigger a lot of y'all. And what does it mean? I know a lot of you probably know this. They feel this way initially, but you can't imagine that someone would say this publicly. At least if you're a 2K dev. How do you feel about a 2K dev feeling that the 2K community is toxic? And what does that mean for the mentality when he's developing the game? What does that mean for his heart when he's putting his heart into the creation? What does it mean for a 2K? What does it mean for us as gamers, for one of the devs creating the game that we love, for him to think we're toxic? And I just want to add one other additional layer to that. What if the country you live in thinks everybody's a criminal? What type of country you living in? If they consider every single person a criminal that they're containing. Let's work on that.
All right, I would say that I would say there is a good chunk of 2K players that are toxic on their own, because that's how some people are. But I think to a certain extent, 2K does certain things that make people very upset. You know, that've been playing this game since it, first came out.
Let's go.
They're seeing where its, trajectory is, and it's going downhill. But to call people toxic, hopefully, whenever they are creating the game, they can put that aside for the people who aren't toxic, create a game, a good game, and not take their anger out by changing certain things in the game.
Yeah, and I want to put this in context because I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. The reason why it came up from the Czar, this 2K dev in particular, salute to the Czar, by the way, I appreciate everything he does and even able to maintain a connection. But he did mention I got to put this in context. When he was talking about the community being toxic, he was talking about the efforts that he put forth to alleviate some of the toxicity because of the efforts that he does to connect with the community. So that's how he brought it up. But what I'm getting at is that I noticed he did say he thinks the community is toxic, but he wanted to help fix that toxicity. That was the context in which toxicity was brought up. It wasn't like he was trying to just insult folks for no reason. But it got me to thinking, well, if you think somebody's toxic, if I believe, and I'm speaking this from a creator's perspective, if I believe that the people that I'm creating for aren't worth my creation, how much of me is going to go into that creation? Yeah, I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much of my heart you can't.
Yeah, you're going to give half effort because you're not.
There you go. There you go. So that's what I'm concerned with.
How does he think he's going to
everyone toxic?
Yeah, how is he going to change the fact that he thinks everybody's toxic by what he does for work? Is he going to try to make it to where people can't abuse certain things because that's classified as air quote toxic? How does he think he's going to do that by changing certain aspects when the foundation as a whole is not even good?
Man, you speaking the truth on that one.
I'm just saying though, think about it. How are you going to fix? How are you going to do that? Well, how do you think you're going to fix a whole community when the foundation of the game isn't even correct? Especially when it's like someone on Cesar's side when he's working about defense, and there's so many problems with defense that we just tolerate and deal with because it is 2K.
Change starts somewhere.
Needs to start from the ground up.
Yep.
Honestly,
ground up.
I think the most recent 2Ks have probably been the most toxic out of all of them, to be honest.
I don't know, bro.
Times, but
16 and 17 were pretty tough, dog.
We were babies, though. We were babies back then. So, you know what I mean? In regards to the online basketball gaming, we were still babies in 16 and 17.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. So this is like the starting phase.
Yeah, because obviously there was, toxic stuff going on, but like you said, it was new.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really know what to expect. But now with what 2K23 got to go on 24, we know what they're capable of, but they're shading away from it.
Thank you. Hey, that's one of my biggest key points. We already seen, and I said it in the video today, we seen what you're capable of, 2K. Stop playing freaking games.
They have stepping.
Yeah, so thank you. You said it, Chosen. So when I'm thinking, when my general thought process, when I'm experiencing these 2Ks over the last 3 years, because 2K20 was my last favorite 2K. Over the last 3 years, I'm thinking, this is like half-stepping, just like you said. This is like half-stepping. And then I hear a dev talking. I sit back and listen to a dev speaking about the game and his experience, and he has a thought in his mind that the community is toxic. Although he's a good guy and he wants to bridge that gap to alleviate some of that toxicity, my thought is, hey, that's probably why we're receiving a half game. And I'm not trying to deny his efforts. No way that the Czar is putting less effort. I'm not trying to put that on him. But I'm saying, what does it mean for somebody who feels that way? And then as a gamer, I do feel they're half-stepping. And I felt like that over the last 3 years.
They're trying to do too much to see the generation.
But they're not touching it.
What you said, Red? They're trying to what?
They're trying to do too much with two different generations of a game too. Having to make 2 different games, 2 different platforms. They keep being stingy with the crossplay.
But you know what? They said something about the 2 games. They said the PlayStation 4 wouldn't be able to handle the graphics. But it's no way you can dumb it down some, so it can handle it.
There's probably so much more behind it that's probably way above our
understanding.
Of coding and stuff, how it works. I'm pretty sure, didn't they say this is the last year though for PS4?
Mm-hmm. They did mention something.
I don't know how that's gonna.
It doesn't, and you know, the thing is that 2K, they bought out a whole other company to handle the development of the current gen version of 2K. So we have the regular development team working on the next gen version. They're the ones who work on that. They created that. That's the regular things. And this company that is handling Hookbang is called Hookbang Visual Concepts Austin right now, because they bought the company out. But they used to, in 2K21, they helped them make 2K21. So now 2K established them in their own building and everything. Visual Concepts Austin set them up to develop the current gen version of the game so that it didn't take away from what we're experiencing on next gen. Which is why I say, yeah, they have limitless resources, bro. They could buy a whole company out to fix all these problems.
Being cheap.
And they bought them out and made it happen. What I'm trying to say is that it didn't take away from the efforts that they developed. There was no difference for the development team is what I'm getting at when they started making 2 games. Because they just bought more people. You know what I'm saying? They just bought more people, just like they should, just like a big company should, so that it doesn't take away from productivity.
Man,
it's really bad.
They just, like we said at first, they need to stop half-stepping. Simple.
Wagwan. Salute to the chat. Appreciate y'all being here. King Icy, Rafa, Icy, what's good? Anthony, OTR, Bob John, what's goody? Why does PC have old gen? PC used to have like future gen right now. Because they PCs are more powerful than yeah. So I don't get it either. PS4 would turn into a jet engine if I ran next gen on me. You ain't lying. I will never want to go back to that. That was one of the things that I just instantly, when I got my PS5, I instantly put that. I don't even know where my PS4 is. I don't know where it's at. Yeah, I don't even know where it's at in my house. Because I instantly took that joint off.
Yeah, I got rid of mine. Mine's gone.
Yeah, instantly took that joint off. So I never want to hear that jet engine again. Ido was good. They don't want 2K making more money regardless, so they aren't hungry to make a new and different game. You know, when people keep bringing up what the homie said, he said basically they're not hungry, right? But I think it extends further than that, and it goes to that idea. At least this is just a theory of mine, personally. This is just my own opinion. of what I've learned over the years or what I've seen. I think there's more to the idea that they're just not hungry. I think with them not being hungry, they're bullying folks to making sure that they're never going to be able to exist in or coexist in the same field as them. You're not going to coexist. So not only are we not hungry to be innovative with the gameplay development, and I think they are being innovative, but not meeting our expectations for what innovation should mean for a company like this, especially considering what technology in general does as far as advancement from one year to the next.
I think it also plays a big role in like obviously they came out with the same game for the past couple of years, and they know it's going to make money. It's like if you look at games like GTA 5, that game's been out since 2013.
Say it again, yep.
And they haven't made another one because they're still making a ridiculous amount of money. If they kept this game 23 and they skipped 24 and 25, they would still make a lot of money.
He's saying it. He's saying it. They would still make tons of money if they didn't even drop a game for 2 years. And they'd make it off of this game alone. Yeah. So what 2K really had the best defense, I would say 2K19 had one of the best. Yeah, Ab Green. I agree with that completely. 2K19 had some really good defense. Those lockdowns were scary. I remember our goated point guards, because we had some goated point guards in 2K19. Unstoppable, I would say. There was many instances that I remember that our point guards were just unstoppable. 2 people just trying to guard them. It was those type of games. But this is Park. We're talking about a Park experience.
And still couldn't get stopped.
Yeah, still. We send the whole team. Not we. They send the whole team at our point guard. And it was like a joke. Taking like limitless range type of threes and they can't stop fading. It was crazy. But yeah, fun times, man. I think 2K19 has some of the best defense. I remember they used to actually have a real live human phone number called the UK Rep 2. It's getting to the point where 2K is like Madden. Madden is just a roster update. But that's my issue, y'all. That's my issue. The way I see it, let me just throw this out there. And by the way, I just wanted to mention this because I see Chosen put the link to Discord in the live stream chat. Our Discord if you're new here, our Discord community is filled with over 25,000 members, over 25,000 players. If you guys are looking for players in preparation for 2K24, you want to start building that chemistry with some folks so you can get a running start when 2K24 hits, you build those relationships and that chemistry, join our Discord. All you got to do is type !Discord in the chat. The link will come up and you're on your way to finding good people. Because our community, we work very hard to make sure it's non-toxic. Zero tolerance. Matter of fact, if you have any level of toxicity watching this stream and think you're going to join in, you're going to end up in problems. Zero tolerance for toxicity is not going down in our community. And we've built that up to 25,000 members. And I know it's hard to believe that there is a non-toxic environment within 2K, but there is. Because we work very hard to maintain it like that safe environment for gamers from all walks of life. Come on out and join our Discord. We'd love to have you, man. I appreciate everybody who's in the stream, man. You guys are awesome.
And when you join the Discord, go ahead and subscribe.
Let's move on to the next topic. We actually designated teams handling each aspect of the game. Yep. Mike Wang, by the way, Mike Wang handles dribbling and shooting as far as development is concerned. At least that's what he said publicly. That those 2 things are his babies. So he's the one who really focuses on dribbling and shooting. So you guys got problems with dribbling and shooting? Message Mike Wang. 2K Dev says it's a very rare occasion that you can come up with a solution that fixes all the problems. There is no golden solution that could fix all the problems.
Well, my thing on that would be if you go back to when the gaming systems first came out, we didn't have the graphics like they do now. But we didn't have a lot of the issues they have now. You know, when it comes to 2K, you have badges that each badge has a certain animation it's got to catch up to. Plus, you got the attributes it's got to match, and just all different kinds of stuff in it. If you go back to the old games, you'll think that stuff's so smooth because all you had was your dribble moves. If you wanted to dunk, you had a certain stick. If you wanted to block a shot, you were different. It didn't have all the extra badges and stuff, in my opinion.
Yep. And to add,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you straight, bro.
I was just gonna say if they would make it 2K, it would make a lot of people mad. But if they would make it 2K, take away all the badges. You want to build the conduct, put his attribute up. You know, it's gonna eliminate a lot of the extra animations, and you'll see a game that'll run a lot smoother. In my opinion.
I feel you all the way on that because I feel like simplicity is eluding the development team. And what simplicity means to a lot of people, and they don't even realize it. Do you guys realize that some of the most popular games are the most simple, put together games? You think about Roblox? I can't even fix myself to download the game. But that thing is so simple looking. It's like, and what I'm getting at is that the game is obviously not focused on aesthetics. That's what I'm getting at. It's not focused on how it looks, but it has this core functionality that people just fall in love with, which is what 2K had once upon a time. This core functionality that people just fall in love with, and it really doesn't have nothing to do with aesthetic. I know we can't play the first 2K ever released on Dreamcast. I know we can't go back and play it, especially being that we experience what you're seeing in the background right now. Minecraft. Well, yeah, Minecraft. Yep, that's probably what I was thinking too. I don't know why I mentioned. Who knows? Minecraft, Roblox. I don't even know. Anyway, I thought they were the same thing.
Roblox is very simple. Another thing I've seen recently with Roblox is like you can make a game inside of a game. Normal people are making games and they're doing good.
They have their own version of 2K.
No, it's facts because there's another game that's coming out that I heard recently that is going to be about developing levels. And these are like really extensive levels, and they're going to give the tools to gamers everything they need to be a developer and create levels that'll be shared.
That's what Fortnite is doing.
Oh, kind of. That's like what was that? Super Mario?
No, it was.
The levels.
Yeah, I know those were like smaller versions, but this version they're talking about really expanding it and giving them developer tools. So there's not like going to be a game like Little Big Planet. It's not going to be like that, or you could create something. It's going to be actual creating a level, textures, all of that good stuff.
It's what they're doing with Fortnite. It's called the Real Engine or something like that. It's giving normal people the ability to make professionally looking.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can look up what is that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're making the modders. Good looking out, Matrix. Yeah, allowing them to mod the game.
The Unreal Engine is what it's called.
I asked this out of curiosity if they would look to change their approach. Keeping it NBA basketball versus the park in my career, not the same form before, and you got old heads versus new school issues. You know, I don't even count though, and I get what you're saying, Michael Byrne. But you know, these little trivial issues between old head, young, that joint just brushed right off for me. I don't even think about that stuff, and I get that is a very real issue, but for me, the real issue is the egos on some folks. That's all I see. So we can't have a conversation because it's your ego. I'm not finna conversate with your ego, because if your ego was in front of me, I'd probably knock him out. So, you know, you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, nobody deals with no ego like that. Like, get out of here. I'll show you why you shouldn't have an ego. And I'm not trying to be a tough guy at all, but I just mean to say we don't do that. You just don't do that. So this young versus old, you know, anyway, we'll leave that alone. But I just mean to say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like respect to that. I don't deal with that stuff. But it is a very real thing. It is a young, a lot of young folks. We're not even going to get into it. So I don't want to, I'm not trying to isolate or alienate any of my viewers. I don't want to make that happen. If you're young, you're watching, I appreciate you watching, and I'm not trying to insult anybody, but some of you young folks probably know that they are, like, you got a friend or an associate that has an ego that's larger than life with nothing to show for it, and hasn't even experienced life yet enough for it to humble him. But let's talk about this. Well, you know, we're winding down towards the end here. There was during this conversation with the dev, they had posed a question. Well, he made a reference to the idea. He created this analogy saying development is like, or the way developers work to alleviate issues in the game, considering that if they fix one thing, another thing has the potential to get messed up. So they touch some over here, which is what a lot of us feel, right? How many of us have said, yo, man, they touched this or they patched that and now shooting's messed up. Yo, they touched finishing and now passing or, you know, playmaking's messed up. We've all said that. So he was speaking about what it takes for a developer to go in and fix issues. And he said, well, like I mentioned in the video, it's like, what do you want? Your left hand or your right hand? So if somebody asks you a question, what do you want? Your left hand or your right hand? Most folks, they're going to say, what are you talking about, homie? You crazy? I want both my hands. What are you talking about? I'm not going to be just left-handed for the rest of my life. Only. So with that in mind, he said development of 2K, you have to make a choice. There is no option to have both hands. The lesser of two evils. Which one? You got two problems. Which one are you willing to live with? This is him talking. This is not me talking. This is the developer talking. And that's what led me toward, as I started thinking about it, that's what led me toward the idea that, because I couldn't understand how a developer is going to say, we only have these two options when you're the one who's dealing with the coding. So obviously the coding will take him down a rabbit hole if he attempts to fix everything, a rabbit hole that he probably can't get out of without damaging the whole game. Which is what led me to the idea of, hey, homie, you should probably consider doing it from the ground up, like Tron was talking about in the beginning. What up, One Shy? How does a developer for a game that we love, that's a AAA title that makes so much money, say we don't have a way to fix both? We can't fix both. Having two hands is not even an option. Those are his exact words. And I know there's red tape. The czar would probably want to fix everything. He would probably want everything fixed. He said he loves basketball and he loves video gaming. It's what he does. That's his passion. His intention probably want to fix everything, but the red tape doesn't even allow him to get in there to. So if that's the case, when are we ever going to see the game we want?
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, when do we ever, if they can't get into the coding because they got to make a choice of the lesser of two evils, when are we ever going to see the game will we ever get back to, at the very least, NBA 2K20? Will we get back to that?
I think 2K23 would have been a good game if they would have left it alone.
There you go.
If they would have left everything where it was at when it came. Here's the game you're getting, guys. Boom. Take it or leave it. It would have been a great game. Shooting was on point. It was a skill gap. The defense was there. If you came down dribbling all silly against a lock that had a 99 steal, you're getting ripped. I mean, it was there. There was actually that skill gap to where you had to learn what you're doing, learn your moves, and progress. If they had just kept it the same, but wanting to fix stuff. And, you know, we seen it with defense. They nerfed defense, and then all of a sudden now passing slow.
See, right? They're saying facts, OG. Yeah, because it's like, that's how I felt too. I thought the game was absolutely amazing when it dropped. I was happy to see the point guard scared of the lockdowns because that reminded me of 2K19, where, like I was saying earlier, we had the absolute best point guards that would kill everything in front of them until they saw that lockdown. They saw that lockdown badge light up. Everybody on the team's like, yo, pass the rock. Pass it up.
Yep.
Yeah. Because that lockdown was going to get it. But we spent the whole year on 2K19 with that defense. And then we got that type of defense, and it was a little excessive. I didn't like the behind the back steals. I didn't like that, or the across the body steals. You got the ball in your right hand. The body is separating you from your defender, which is how it's supposed to be. I don't like the idea that they hit the button and RNG get a steal animation that lunges them in front of you.
When the game first came out, when people were dribbling up the court, if you ran behind them and you clicked square once, you were stealing it instantly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a little bit excessive, but that wasn't anything that the offense couldn't have fixed. So if, for instance, if we stood a little while longer with that gameplay, when somebody's trailing behind us, we'd be like, oh, I got to give it up. Homie, that means the whole offense starts adjusting. Somebody comes up to get the rock, and then they'll reset it to put that defender back in front of the ball handler. So what I mean is we have options to make adjustments, but 2K never allowed us to explore those options.
No, and that's what separated the skill gap between players. Because I just want everybody to know that.
What up, Stretch?
This is the first year I was a casual gamer, and I still, this is the first year I really went into leagues and anything like that. But I mean, even for the casual gamer coming in, starting off at 2K23 and really starting online, I can tell. I am still casual, but I can tell that there's a big difference in the gameplay, though, from when I first started playing to now.
Tooney brought up a good point in the chat, saying that 2K listing portions is 90% offensive player and 10% defense.
And that's understandable because the NBA is geared towards offense. So it's understandable that the game is going to follow suit. Just like they changed all the gameplay. We used to have a mid-range in 2K. Now that joint is gone. And save it, please, all you guys in the chat saying, I still take a mid-range. Yeah, you take a mid-range once a week if you take mid-ranges. But, the joint is damn near gone out the game. We used to, and the reason why I'm saying it like that is because half of our gameplay used to be the mid-range. That used to be our gameplay. We used to work, look back on Ticino. You take those long threes as well, but we used to work to get towards the baseline just so we could take a leaner. And that was mostly from the mid-range. So it was a very common thing, and now it's damn near obsolete. So the gameplay, it changes and is more geared towards offense. And it's facts, Tooney, that I feel like they do gear it towards offense because that offense boosts a lot of folks' endorphins. When they score them points, the endorphins start boosting and they're like, oh, I'm addicted. I want to score again. You got some folks who take pride in defense. And I think, I would say a lot of people take pride in defense, but not nearly as much pride as they take in their offense. That's what I would say. Is that wrong?
Nah, that's the truth. You have a lot of people who will play their heart out on offense, but on defense, they'll just go up court and just stand somewhere.
Well,
they're playing defense.
Well,
that's like you said, but the NBA is geared towards offense, so it makes sense for that.
Yeah. I mean to say, we know people. Everybody that plays could say, nah, my homie, he loves defense. That's all he want to do. But it's like 1 out of 10 that really take that pride. Like we know Sneaky, he prides himself in being a defender. Do you get what I mean to say? Right. But a lot of us, we take pride in being a good offensive player, and we don't have that same enthusiasm about defense. And that could be due to the limitations on 2K in regards to defense that we were talking about earlier. I don't even know what I was doing there in the background, but.
I was looking at it.
Yeah, I said, what the hell was that? I did like 5 dribble moves for no reason. But yeah, a lot of people will say I like them both, but the reality is when I look back at the conversations I have, and is mainly based in offense, how you create your player. You'll put some defense. Everybody's like, I'm definitely going to put some defense on them. That's the answer to defense. But it's very few that say, I'm just focused on defense. I don't care to shoot threes. I love making a difference on D. Yeah, I like making a difference on defense as well. We all do, but what I mean to say is I think it is from the business perspective, it is in 2K's best interest to focus on offense over defense. But that doesn't mean, this is where things get lost in translation. Everybody's confused. That doesn't mean that we have this defense or you use a lack of defensive mechanics to make the offense look good. So I think more people would love to play defense if the defense was always able to keep up with offense. This is why this year more players are proud to be defenders, because 2K gave perimeter defense a shot this year. So you got locked. Yeah, you got so many bootleg lockdowns that want to press the rock, which used to never happen. These dudes are bootleg. I'm one of them. I'm one of the bootlegs.
I was getting ready to say,
yeah, I'm one of the bootlegs, but you got these bootlegs lockdowns trying to just, and my player, he got a 40, let me double see, make sure. I know I think I got an 80 perimeter defense with a 40 steal. Something like that on the player that you guys are seeing in the background. He's not supposed to be up top. He's supposed to be in the corner. But the way it's set up, 2K gave me a shot. So I'm able to play defense with a player that shouldn't be up there. I can't play on-ball one-on-one, but, with a team, we can make it work. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in previous versions, you couldn't do that. Maybe 19, you couldn't do that. I take pride in my defense. I try to lock my guy up and point that he gets frustrated. I play ball denial D and stick my guy like glue. Pause. Quite often, they only score when I have to rotate. Yeah. That's, it's true. Some people take pride. We have folks that take pride in the defense, but the good majority of folks seem to take, maybe I'm mistaken in that statement, but it seems to me that the good majority of folks take more pride in having a good offense, because defense, you just got to kind of be in position. And then you get some of these lockdowns that are like, all right, cool. They're trying to master defense, but that's far and few in between. Defense should be based on possession and timing, while offense should be based on stick skill and ball movement. Salute to you, Stretch Pig. If you could pick one thing from each 2K to make the best 2K of all time, what would it be? It's tough because I haven't played 2K16. If I was to, yeah, you get what I'm saying? So I haven't played 2K16, so I only know what 2K16 was like at the time 2K16 was out. When 2K17, right now, a lot of folks consider 2K17 one of the best, but I very clearly remember when 2K17 dropped after 2K16, we was like, what the hell is this? Some bootleg crap. That's how we felt about 2K17.
Don't get me started on Paul George.
Yeah, and then the Paul George screen that would allow, you would have to load up in the morning. You have to hit power on your PlayStation, then go to work your 8-hour shift, come back home, and finally the Paul George screen is coming off after you done did everything for your day. So, but you know what's crazy? That can't happen right now. The outrage if we had to wait. I'm dead serious. A half an hour for your loading screen. I'm not joking at all. Sound off in the chat if you've experienced that. A half an hour to wait for your game to load up. That's serious. I turn on my game, brush my teeth, like get up in the morning, turn it on, brush my teeth, eat my breakfast, make some quick, come back, not loaded. Like, can you imagine?
The game would be deleted.
Yeah, this generation will not tolerate that for nothing.
Nah. Oh, it'd be so bad.
Yeah.
How Twitter would blow up.
Yeah. It would blow up because you can't be a AAA title and doing things like that. And I think that's what a lot of people are thinking. You can't be a AAA title and not fix this. You can't be a AAA title and tell me you could only use one of your hands. Having two is not an option. You got resources. You're not a small company. Fix it. Well, if we try, I think this is what they're not getting at. This is my theory personally. My opinion is what they're not getting is that if we try and fix it, it's going to take us way longer than the annual cycle. So, the devs up top said we just got to, make it work. And I don't know how they do it because it was a drastic change. It was a drastic change from 2K23 to 2K22 was a drastic change. That 2K will have 7.5. I'm not sure. They've been trying to start that 7.5 thing for the longest.
Man, I hope
You bring.
not, bro.
They said the same thing about this year.
Yeah, it was gonna be 7.5. There'll be 7.5s on PC.
But you gotta think. You gotta think about it. How long has Bobo been in the league for?
Mm-hmm.
And he's what, 7 foot too damn tall.
The load up. They're saying I'm lying. They're saying you guys think I'm lying about 2K17? You guys think I'm. Hold on. Let me clarify this. I am no way, shape, or form am exaggerating the idea that you had to wait 1/2 hour for the game to. I am not the slightest bit exaggerating.
Yeah, it's like not even funny.
Yeah.
It's not even funny how many times we had to do that.
Yeah, so what would happen, so the idea in 2K17 was that you had to delete it if it started happening. So what would happen is it would start out, you wait 1 minute. And then, you shut your thing down, you come back. Now it's making you wait 3 minutes for it to load up. And then, the next day, boom, now you're up to 10 minutes. And then the next day, if you don't delete your app and re-download it, now you're up to 20 and then 30. Straight like that. I am not even exaggerating the slightest bit, yeah. I was trying to figure out what y'all was saying, why you cap, bro. And I'm like, nah, that's not cap. I'm not exaggerating. Yeah, it's wow. How do you feel about the city? Is it time for a new park? They got to do a whole new system in park. Let me answer the question that the homie asked. If we was to take certain aspects from different games, how would we create the perfect game? And my answer to that is that I can't put myself at that time. Certain aspects of the game, I like the fluidity of the movement we used to have. We used to feel free, like in 2K16 and 17, 2K20. I felt extremely free and in control of my animations, from dribbling to driving. I felt in control. And I should say I felt more control than what I feel now. So, right? Yeah, so I'm like, if I want anything, and like I've been calling for this, if you guys follow me, you know that I've been saying this for a long time. If I want anything, give control back to the player. And I tell you one thing, the last 2 years, Mike Wang himself has said exactly that, verbatim. We're giving control back to the players. The last 2 years, he said exactly that. They had whole segments in the Courtside reports that said they're giving control back to the player. Obvious lies that they know are a problem, which they try to address through marketing to finesse us into thinking that it's done fixed. Hopefully I'm not speaking too quickly. These thoughts be running through my mind. Yeah, because we don't have the control. I have to wait 4 seconds for an animation to pop out while I done trigger 15 more on top of it. So now I don't know if those other 15 are going to activate.
But then the guy guarding you just hit square and he can rip you with ease.
Bay Area Bully said, but you had to clear your cache reserve space to make it load faster. Nobody's trying to hear that. I get what you're saying, though, Bay Area.
They need to stop making so many badges that don't work. A lot of these badges shouldn't even be in the game.
They need to just get rid of badges completely. And you'll see a difference in the animation.
I think they got some badges that will help you against interior defense, because interior defense isn't good. But there's so many badges for these, smaller point guards that are really making it so centers can't really do certain things.
And I'll tell you on my 6'9", I have gold slithery. And I've seen it to where the center be in the paint, I go in to do something dumb, and he just frees up, and they give me the animation for the
Thank you. I've been calling it. I have videos on all this stuff, bro.
Hall of Fame ankle breaker.
Yeah, I don't play around. I have videos covering all this stuff. Slithery is a badge that moves the defender.
Giant Slayer, all them.
That joint will straight stun you. You in the paint, you think you making a great contest. 2K done took control of my player and moved me over here so he could go in and get us, convert for 2 points. It's really frustrating.
Said yes, no, but
Salute Royale.
I feel like the defense should have priority to get loose balls because they work for it. They don't reward defense enough, and just in 2K period.
That's a good topic.
Yeah, say that louder. Say that.
Yeah, that's a good topic because there is an issue where the offense, like there's a challenge that shouldn't be happening. It's like she said, when a loose ball happens, prioritizing that. I don't want to be an offensive player that obviously I'm supposed to get the ball back. It comes out, they poke the ball loose. Obviously, I'm right there. I get the ball back. If the defenders, went the wrong way. But we're in these 50-50 balls and we're like head to head trying to get the rock. Yeah, give it to the defense. You got 3 defenders in the paint, 1 guard in the paint, and the ball drops. The rebound drops right in the 1 guard, the smallest player on their court. It drops in their hand for them to get the offensive rebound.
Yeah, and it's like their reaction time.
Try to intercept the pass, and it just knocks it straight out of bounds for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the reaction time for the offensive player just speeds up by like 1,000 to get the ball back. It's just out of nowhere, and they don't even have any workhorse on anything. They just get the ball back immediately.
Yep.
Like it's not even like any logic in it. Like how is he able to get the ball and he's like turning around? He's completely turned the other direction and he's picked the ball up fast still.
Again, these are things that never happened. We never had to experience this in 2K like that. Not to this extent that it was these were problems that were never even thought of. And surely we had problems back then. But what I'm saying is then it didn't disrupt our enthusiasm for the game. These type of problems disrupt your enthusiasm. Like you don't feel nearly as enthusiastic about playing the game or getting on the game because these type of problems are disrupting that whole energy. And it's like, man, those problems could be alleviated. Why is it still a thing? Why do we have this as a thing? Where did it come from? We know, again, a theory of mine, maybe I'm speaking on my behind, but a theory of mine is that 2K is taking a basic framework foundation of what 2K, and a lot of people reference it as copy and paste. But I think that's exactly what they're doing per se. Maybe not everything is copy and paste, but surely I would probably, if I had to guess, at the very least, and I'm being modest, 50% of every single 2K is copy and pasted. They take the coding from the previous version, and like a lot of people reference, they're just doing roster updates. You guys are paying $100 for roster updates. I don't completely agree with that statement because 23 was very different from 22 and 22 was very different from 21. So they are making adjustments, but at least 50% of the game is being copy and pasted over. So where do new issues arise? Like All City Cheat had just mentioned, where do these new issues arise from? Things that never happened in the game.
Yeah, I don't knock 2K for that.
Got a contest and they get the ball right back, knowing they should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't knock 2K for like the 50% of copy and paste they do every year or whatever because I'm coming from Madden. I'm a Madden player, and I experienced actual game being copy and paste every year, like the actual whole game.
Yeah,
and I'm coming from the show too. Like I play baseball, I play MLB the show too as well. Like they do that as well. They're not guilty. I mean, they not innocent. It's a great game though, but they still copy and paste it. So.
Yeah, I tried to get on, and everybody was telling me that it's amazing. And I thought it was okay, but it couldn't keep my attention. It couldn't hold my attention because it was the same game that I saw before.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. It's simple. In 2K, bad offense often gets rewarded, whereas good defense doesn't. Thank you, Sliss, for saying that. And that's breaking everything down to the most simplistic form. It's simple. In 2K, bad offense gets rewarded, whereas good defense doesn't get rewarded with the same effort as they rewarded the bad offense.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's basically what I just said. Honestly,
yep.
100%.
Yep. It's basically what you just said. Yep. I feel very similar.
Too.
It is annoying because how many times have things defied physics in 2K?
Every game.
Every freaking game. And you know what? I'm playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch. Which is supposed to have very limited capabilities. And one of the best things about that game is the physics. The wind blows, you're gonna see this thing, you're creating something, the wind, you're gonna see it topple over or like teeter, because physics are absolutely amazing. And 2K can get the physics right? Physics have never came out my mouth in all my years playing 2K. I have never mentioned the physics of 2K. This year, consistently, I've seen people mention, what's up with the physics, bro? That joint is off. If you tip the ball that way, why is it going this way? What is it, Dandara? If I tip the ball going that way, my lunge went that way, how did the ball go out of bounds this way?
Especially when you go in the corner and they try to pass it to the corner.
And now you're out of bounds. Again, another... Yeah. Hey, member for 31 months. Zidan Dada, appreciate you, bro. How... Again, another issue that's never happened was passing to the corner and someone just being called for being out of bounds, which you have no control over.
That's crazy.
Where did it come from? Nah, you good. Keep talking, bro. Where did these issues come from?
Yeah, that's crazy, because it happened to me multiple times yesterday when I was running the combines, and I couldn't understand it. Like, and this didn't happen last year in 2022. Like, it's, I feel like they like up the sensitivity of the out of bounds line. It just period, because it'd be times where to be questioning like was I actually out of bounds? Like, we weren't even close to the out of bounds line. Like, what the hell is that? You know, so I feel like they up the sensitivity of the out of bounds line, and it's kind of weird.
And it used to not be that way, because we used to drive in the paint. It used to be my thing to go take the baseline and reverse dunk consistently, or do a spin dunk animation consistently from the baseline.
Yeah.
But then there's times where you're boxing somebody in the corner, you're playing great defense, and they don't step out of bounds, and then they just, sneak right by it. It's like it's
sickening. It's so hit or miss. Yep, it's sickening. Yeah, I highly doubt. VC's not transferring over, Mags. It's a save your money. I highly doubt they'll give you an option to transfer that VC over. Get a reliable.
Share your VC with current and next gen.
The homie said get a reliable gaming monitor. Don't do it. I don't think 2K is worth it. If you're playing Call of Duty, maybe. Don't get me wrong. I would always. Let me say this. I would always recommend that people play on a gaming monitor for better response time. But the gaming monitor is not going to alleviate. This is what I should say. The gaming monitor is not going to alleviate the issues that we're talking about right now. Has nothing to do with the issues. I play on a gaming monitor.
There's so much also a gaming monitor will actually do for you on a console. Majority of the gaming monitors are built really just around computers.
Interesting. Do anyone else joystick get tight playing 2K? That's when I know the gameplay gets slow. Latency. That's what we were talking about earlier. You know,
oh, that's what that
well,
meant?
that's what it's referencing, that it gets tight.
Like a little,
because he's saying he feels sluggish, I imagine.
Yeah.
So again, latency, where one day to the next we get on. I came back to 2K a few days ago, and then I played again last night. And a few days ago I came on and I was hitting every shot, which I thought I was going to be missing every shot, but I was hitting every shot and I felt amazing. So usually that turns me back on to 2K, and I end up getting back on again. So I did that last night. And the first game I felt great, shooting really well. And then I had to spend the next 3 or 4 games where everybody on the court that we was playing with felt the same way, saying that it's weird. Something's weird is happening. And Chosen said, yeah, there's an event going on. Oh, it's the event. And that'll help segue to what we were talking about yesterday. This will be the last topic. That'll help us segue into what we was talking about yesterday in 2K, dividing up the servers. Because from my understanding, the servers are already divided up. So if you're in the rec, you're in your own server. You're in certain areas in the park, you're in your own server, so on and so forth. But still, when there's an event happening, how come I'm going into the rec and suffering the latency because of the event? What do we got to say about that? What up, old man?
Well, I know the city itself is too big, because anybody that's ever, we all have, you just go around the city, you'll transfer different latencies within
Yep.
just moving a couple blocks.
Yep.
Yeah, it
If
take a
I'm going
certain
from my
industry to get to
house or the
another level.
office to the NBA arena, you'll see that little like glitch happen as you're trying to get to the arena. That's offline. Well, I guess it's online. I mean, I guess it's online when you're in the city. But you're not like playing a game. You just see that you see yourself going into a different server is what I'm trying to get at. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't even be like that.
Yeah, we're in next gen.
Sometimes simple's
18?
better.
Simple's better.
Went around the corner in the city, and
Yeah.
you could tell it was a difference. And if you wasn't running, if you ain't had your squad with you, y'all would get sent to a different server.
There you go. That's how we first learned that the 2K divided up the servers, is because in 2K18 when they started doing this for the neighborhood, that's when they introduced it. When you had to go into the park area, you could squad up. Say you guys all meet up at a certain store, you guys will squad up and then try to all run into the park area, which is a wide open block that you could just walk into, and you see the park right in front of you. But for some reason, when you cross a certain line, which had actually like police type of barriers on it, at least by the side of it, when you cross that line, your teammates that you're in a squad with going to the park that you see right in front of you just so happen to disappear, and they send them in a different server. So you guys are like, you walk in, your teammates disappear, they're walking, they see you disappear, and everybody's going into like a park server separately. So man, 2K has had some issues, bro. Man, they have had some issues like adding friends or what was it? Finding friends on your phone. Oh man, they've had some issues.
I feel like it should be easier to I feel like it should be easier to play against your friends, like how we try to match up against each other in program. It should be like a much easier process. I shouldn't have to make a whole team to play, just to play against my friends. Like
that's big facts.
I should be able to have a pro-am team and then have like an offline pro-am team.
Which they used to have. You know, they used to have the crew.
Yeah.
That little crew thing.
Just to practice against each other, like competitively, like like not. I heard what you said, like my court, but yeah, that's I don't know if that's kind of different, but I want to like practice like to where I'm like actually like playing in a real game. Yeah.
And this stuff got to be seamless and easy.
Yeah, or like practice like defense. It's like a dedicated like court where I can practice like different types of defenses with my team or my squad or whatever.
City gonna agree with me with this. Bring back the ball machine.
Yeah, the ball machine. You know, it's such a turn off that I gotta chase the rock down in a video game. Like if I'm out here really practicing, man. Who the hell wants to? And then you got adrenaline and your stamina bar just disappear, and you're going just to like step back to the 3-point line and take a shot. And you done ran out your adrenaline bars and all your stamina. So now you got a different shot timing. Yeah, now you got a different shot timing. Yeah.
You gotta wait till it fills up.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. Come on. It's so frustrating. Those are for the folks who actually practice. You only experience that if you actually invest time. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go to Berkeley's gym, you know, to have infinite stamina or whatever. Like,
and that's a different view.
You know.
And it's a different view that you can't adjust the camera to what you're actually gonna play, so it's hard to guess the timing.
Exactly.
You have to go halfway across the city just to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely some changes, man. It's definitely some interesting changes to talk about. We're gonna keep this up. If you guys, put a 1 in the chat, please, just so I can get an idea. If you guys had enjoyed this live stream of us, me and the All City team, talking back and forth about issues, there's just a taste. If you guys enjoyed this, drop a 1 in the chat. Let me know so I can get a visual idea of whether or not you guys enjoyed this type of content. And if you do enjoy it, we'll get the All City team back on and we'll start bringing up different topics and addressing different topics, helping to create more hype or understanding for 2K24 and what's to come in our future 2 months down the line. Please put a 1 in the chat. Let me know what you think. Shot timing is based on stamina. The higher your stamina, the least your shot fluctuates. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, 1 in the chat. Yes, let us know. Let us know. Thank you for the 1s. Hey, there we go. There goes the love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. What up? What up? What up, Slim? What's good, bro?
Hey, what's
All
going
City
on,
Slim in the building. Let me hold on. Let me try to enhance because I think he might come out in the bottom. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All City Tron, All City Slim in the building. Yeah. Let's get it.
How's everybody feeling, man? How's it been going?
It's been going good, man. This thing seemed to be good and everybody, you know, is connected.
Bat said it's like therapy.
Yeah, and I think it's good sometimes for us to kind of take a seat, like sit back and just take in some regular grown folks conversation, bro. Even for you young folks out there, it's good to just chill, vibe out, where you don't have to feel anxious about how you respond because these folks are so toxic. And that toxicity makes you feel anxious. Nah, F all that, man. We out here vibing, chilling, and we're ball players. Some of the people that I got in here with, yeah, I want a one-on-one. You think you goated? Yeah, we got some people in here that'll drop you off. So, yeah, man, you know, we just want to vibe. That's what we about. We're trying to vibe no matter how good the folks are. We're always on some calm, cool, and collective type of stuff. And I appreciate y'all taking the time to just chill and vibe out with us, man. We wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for y'all. Salute to y'all, All City team. Sound off, man.
Me and OG, we run the Senior Citizens League. Let's go. MVPs, baby.
That's it.
2
He's
years
got to be
running.
back at the home so he can have his jello by 10:30.
Christopher
it's
Johnson
8:30
said,
today.
why don't we get
Hey,
a
City, thanks
prelude
for
or a
having us
demo?
on, man.
Hey, it's my pleasure. I appreciate y'all being here. Before we go, Christopher Johnson said, why don't we get a prelude or a demo anymore?
I missed that.
I never thought about that. I really didn't even notice it wasn't a
Because
thing
we'd
anymore.
see off the rip that 2K was full.
Thank you. I knew that was going to be the answer. That was going to come out within seconds. Within seconds, I knew that was going to be the answer, bro. They don't want to, it hurts the finesse. They're telling you this, like, just in the, y'all keep it locked here because every courtside report I review in great detail, and then we hold them accountable for what they said in that first courtside report. We hold them accountable, try to keep them on their toes at the very least in our little small minuscule way. You try to hold them accountable for things that they said was supposed to be in the game, like defensive styles. Like you guys getting, if you guys don't remember, they said they was going to have defensive styles or giving you guys more control, giving you back the control, things that they said in the beginning of the year. So keep it locked here because when the first courtside report happens, we will go through review. This has to do with them not dropping a prelude because their marketing team is absolutely amazing. And they finesse us every year into thinking it's going to be great. No matter how we feel right now, my wife tells me every year, hey, how's the game? It's freaking amazing. There's the first day. Yo, that joint is, they really made improvements this year. It's me. Yeah, they really did it this year. I don't know. It might be it. 2 weeks later, how's it been going? Freaking, and explicits, all sorts of.
He throwing a tantrum.
Yeah. Oh man, salute to y'all again. It's facts because 2K23 was amazing, and then it just turned into crap.
Man, like
that
touching on
first
what you
night,
was mentioning,
man, we played for hours.
Frustrating.
Touching on what you was mentioning about the different like defensive styles. I mean, thinking about the first month or maybe even the first season or two of the game, like we were able to play how we wanted to on defense.
Yep.
Like if you had a 99 and 97 lock out there, you was able to steal whatever you wanted because you put those attributes in that spot. But they listened to the community, listened to people crying and complaining that had bad builds out there, that was out here trying to make the replica builds or didn't actually know how to play the game the right way. And now they changed everything. So the people that actually know how to play the game, that enjoyed the game and its totality, like we were the ones that were hurt at the end of the day.
Oh yeah. And that was like it was hurt. It was heartbroken because we were so excited about how we felt in the beginning of the year and what was to come for the rest of the year. It was like, man, I'm gonna be able. I remember thinking that I was gonna be able to play this 2K23 in its entirety throughout the whole annual cycle. Just like the old days is what I was thinking. Oh, this is gonna be just like the old days. Plus we're running with good people. I mean, just great personalities, not just good players, but great personalities. Oh, this is gonna be a great year. Ah! Negative, Kochi. 2 months later, it's over.
Done deal. Mad.
Yeah, you're mad. Mad because I used to not get mad in the beginning of the year. Used to get off in the beginning of the year comfortable. Just thinking of I'm gonna improve the next day. Let me hit the lab for a couple hours, put this in my arsenal.
Christopher Johnson says, "Do you think 2K needs a new rep system?"
I don't think that, when I'm speaking about gameplay, and I get it. I don't really. I care because y'all care, but I don't really care. I want gameplay to be good. Let's get to that point first, and then we could talk about the rep system and everything surrounding it. But the actual play to play, coming down the court, I want that to feel fluid, something similar to what we experienced back in the day in 2K19 and 2K20. Some similarities. I want some of that.
Like the rep system, that's more like cosmetic to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly. That's what I mean to say. It's more a cosmetic thing. And right now, these gameplay issues seem to be plaguing the experience where I just want to play more and I can't because I'm frustrated and I don't like the way it makes me feel. That's the basis of it. That's like the childlike viewpoint of what's happening. I don't feel comfortable because it's making me upset. And I don't want to be upset when I'm trying to wind down. I'm trying to chill, enjoy myself. I don't want to spend my leisure time being upset. You get what I mean? So,
Slim has a 1-game limit with 2K.
Man, what?
People really want Rookie to Legend back. I wouldn't mind Rookie to Legend, Big Hack.
Yeah, that was highlight of those 2 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Man, you talking about making people upset? Like that legend grind we had before. Like
that's what folks don't understand, bro. Yeah. That shit was no life. It was like no life for Legend, bro.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? It was exciting because we used to do the math. We used to like I mentioned this before once. If we got a certain way to get a certain amount of points per game, Legend was based. If you guys are new to 2K, Legend was based off my points. So it was your gameplay in its entirety for each game. So people were doing smart things like using attack assists, things like that, throwing the alley-oops, making sure. So we found out, we would do the math to find out how many alley-oops can you throw per game. And it would cap out. So we found out it was like 6 or 7 alley-oops per game that you can throw before it caps out. So we'll do 6 or 7 alley-oops, then do 3 flashy passes, and then do 2 attack assists. And you try, it's so crazy because that's how detailed we were about it. That's how good the system was. It's like, all right, so I got this amount of points. That's what I need to do, rinse and repeat every game and find out if I could increase, maximize the potential to get the most my points per game. Mind you, you're doing this against strangers you don't even know on the other side of the court. But it was fun, and you would be able to kind of pinpoint when you're gonna hit Legend. And when you did the math early, you find out that you was gonna pinpoint that you're gonna hit Legend 6 months later.
And you get hit with a double bar.
Yeah, then you get hit with a double bar. Facts. It's like, no, I forgot about that. You get hit with a double bar. It's like, yo, I didn't even know I was gonna get another bar. That's some BS.
Dudes be hype. You hit that double bar, you turn the game off and go to bed.
Yeah, bro, because you thought you was finna hit Legend right there. Or you thought you was finna hit some level up right there.
Yo.
Forgot about that.
But like,
and some bars go slow.
Legend
2K16, that Legend 2 to 3 bar took forever.
Crazy. You ain't lying. That Legend 2 to 3 bar, man. I don't know. It was like you got, and then they gave us a bar. They gave us a bar in 2K16 because they messed up something. And everybody got a bar in 2K16. Everybody got a level increase is what I should say on 2K16. Because they messed up something over there. I forgot what it was. So I went from Legend 1 to Legend 2, no problem. Fun times, man.
I feel like it was different for some people too. Some people would get
It was.
get it there, and then one bar goes quick, but for somebody else, the same bar is taking 2 times longer.
It was, yeah. That was the case. Well, on that note, yeah, again, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, vibing out with us, chilling with us. You can expect more of this in preparation for 2K24. We're definitely going to be connected with you guys, so stay up to date. If you need any news, updates, or information, I'll definitely have it here. And if you guys want to contact me directly, you could just join our Discord. We're going to be playing more often coming up on 2K24. We're going to stay more connected. So join our Discord. Type !Discord to join our Discord community, and you catch me and the whole crew in and around there. Not to mention a ton of other people that are in our community. We'd love to have you join. Non-toxic, safe environment for gamers from all walks of life. Salute to y'all, man. Homies, take us out. Let's get out of here. The All City team. Sign y'all.
Chosen one, holla at y'all.
There you go. All right, y'all. Yes, sir.
Yeah, All City OG.
Let's get it.
Hey, thanks for joining.
I appreciate y'all. Yeah. Easy, y'all. Have a safe